The Galactic Council had ruled the stars for 60,000 years. 700 species lived under its banner, trading, building, and growing together in what they called the Age of Unity. Their cities floated between worlds. Their ships bent space like cloth. Their medicine had conquered death itself for those wealthy enough to afford it. The Council believed they had seen everything the universe could offer. They were wrong. Ambassador of the species stood in the great observation chamber of Station Prime, watching 100 ships drift past the massive windows. She had served the Council for 3 centuries, and she had grown comfortable in her position. The galaxy was peaceful. The wars were ancient history. Nothing surprised her anymore. That changed when the emergency signal screamed through every communication device on the station. Unknown vessel detected, the automated system announced. Origin unknown, design unknown, energy signature unlike anything in our records. A rush to the command center, her 4 legs carrying her faster than any human could run. When she arrived, she found chaos. Dozens of officers from different species crowded around holographic displays, their voices mixing into a wall of confused noise. "Silence," she commanded. The room fell quiet. "Show me this vessel." The main display flickered to life, and I felt her heart stop beating for a moment. The ship was massive. It dwarfed anything the Council had ever built. Its hull was dark, covered in strange symbols that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Weapons bristled from every surface, more weapons than I had ever seen on a single vessel. But what truly disturbed her was its condition. The ship was damaged, ancient damage, scars from battles fought long before the Council existed. "How old is this thing?" she whispered. A young technician looked up from his console, his face pale with fear. "Ambassador, our systems are having trouble dating it. The materials, the construction methods, they don't match anything we know. But our best estimate is somewhere between 18 and 22,000 years. 20,000 years. The Council itself was only 60,000 years old. This ship had been traveling through the darkness of space for a third of that time. "Is there anyone alive on board?" I asked. "We're detecting life signs. Thousands of them. They appear to be in some kind of suspended animation." I made a decision that would change the galaxy forever. Attempt communication. The message went out, a simple greeting in the mathematical language used by all spacefaring species. For long minutes, nothing happened. Then the ancient ship responded. The holographic display showed a creature unlike anything in Council records. 2 arms, 2 legs, standing upright. Soft skin without scales or fur. 2 small eyes set in a flat face. It wore a uniform of some kind, decorated with symbols I did not recognize. "I am Admiral Sarah of the Earth Alliance warship Prometheus," the creature said. Its voice was tired, heavy with something I could not identify. "We have traveled a very long way. We seek the world called Earth." A felt cold spread through her body. Earth. She knew that name. Every Council member knew it, though none spoke of it willingly. Earth was a legend, a ghost story told to frighten young diplomats. The lost world, the forgotten species. "You are human," I said. It was not a question. The Admiral nodded. "We are, and we are coming home." The Council gathered in emergency session for the first time in 800 years. Representatives from all 700 species filled the great chamber, their voices creating a storm of worried discussion. I stood before them, trying to explain what she had discovered. "The humans were a Council member species 20,000 years ago," she said. "They were young, aggressive, brilliant. They rose faster than any species in our history. Within 2,000 years of joining us, they had surpassed us all in technology, in military power, in everything." An elderly member of the species spoke up. "I remember the stories. My grandmother told me. The humans were too dangerous, too ambitious. The Council decided they must be contained." "Contained is a gentle word for what was done," I replied. The council of that era made a decision. They surrounded Earth with a blockade. They cut off all contact. They removed every reference to humans from our records. They decided that the galaxy would simply forget that humans ever existed. And it worked, another voice called out. For 20,000 years we have known peace. A shook her head. It did not work. The humans did not simply accept their imprisonment. According to Admiral, they spent centuries developing new technology. Technology beyond anything we can imagine. Then they built ships, warships designed to break through any blockade. The Prometheus was one of those ships. It was sent to find allies, to find other species who might help humanity return to the stars. Where are the other ships? Someone asked. Lost, destroyed. The journey was longer and harder than anyone expected. The Prometheus was damaged many times. They lost contact with Earth thousands of years ago. They do not know if there still exists. They have been traveling alone through empty space for longer than our civilization has records. The chamber fell silent. 20,000 years, alone in the dark, never stopping, never giving up, driven by nothing more than hope and determination. What do they want? The elder asked. They want to go home, and they want answers. They want to know why the galaxy abandoned them. The discussion that followed lasted for 3 days. Some members argued that the humans should be welcomed, that the crimes of the ancient council could not be held against the present one. Others insisted that the humans were still dangerous, that their ship proved they had spent 20,000 years preparing for war. A few quietly suggested that the Prometheus should be destroyed while its crew remained in hibernation. But in the end, fear won out over mercy. The council voted to send a fleet to capture the human ship and ensure that its crew could never threaten galactic peace. 200 warships launched from Station Prime, the largest military force assembled in thousands of years. Admiral watched them come on her tactical display. She had expected this. Her ancestors had warned that the galaxy would not welcome them back with open arms, but she had hoped, foolishly perhaps, that things might have changed. Admiral, her first officer said, they outnumber us 200 to 1. Our weapons are damaged. Our shields are failing. We cannot win this fight. Sarah smiled, and there was no warmth in it. We have been fighting for 20,000 years. We have crossed distances that would drive other species mad. We have buried our dead in the space between stars. Do you really think numbers matter to us anymore? The Council fleet surrounded the Prometheus, weapons charged and ready. They expected surrender. They expected the ancient ship to recognize that resistance was impossible. What they got instead was a lesson in what 20,000 years of desperation could create. The Prometheus moved in ways the Council officers could not understand. It was everywhere at once, its damaged weapons striking with precision that seemed almost supernatural. The strange energy that powered the human ship rippled outward, and Council vessels began to fail. Shields collapsed. Engines died. Weapons refused to fire. In 3 hours, the entire fleet was disabled. Not destroyed, disabled. The humans had developed weapons that could end a fight without killing a single enemy. Admiral's voice echoed through every ship in the Council fleet. We did not come here for war. We came here for justice. For 20,000 years, my people have suffered because your ancestors were afraid of what we might become. Well, we have become it. We have become exactly what you feared. But we choose not to destroy you. We choose not to become the monsters you imagined us to be. She paused, and when she spoke again, her voice was softer. We just want to go home. We want to know if Earth still exists. We want to see our sky again. Will you help us, or will you try to stop us again? The Council members watched their broken fleet drift in space. 200 ships, the greatest force they had assembled defeated by a single damaged warship crewed by creatures they had tried to forget. The power difference was obvious. If the humans had wanted to destroy them, they could have done so easily. But they didn't. A was the first to respond. Admiral, I cannot speak for the Council, but I can speak for myself. What was done to your people was wrong. It was cowardice disguised as wisdom. If there is any way I can help you find your home, I will do so." Other voices joined hers, one by one, until a chorus of species offered their assistance. The council's unity shattered, but something new began to form in its place. Something based not on fear of the strong, but on respect for the determined. The Prometheus turned toward the coordinates where Earth had once orbited its yellow sun. The journey would take months even at faster-than-light speeds. No one knew what they would find when they arrived. The blockade had been abandoned thousands of years ago, deemed unnecessary when the humans were believed to be extinct. Admiral stood alone in her quarters, looking at a photograph that had been passed down through her family for generations. It showed a blue planet, covered in clouds and water beautiful beyond description. Earth, the world her ancestors had been forced to leave, the world she had spent her entire life trying to find. "We're coming," she whispered. "We never forgot, we never stopped, and now we're coming home." 3 months later, the Prometheus emerged from faster-than-light travel into a star system that made every human on board weep. Earth was there, blue and green and white just as the old photographs showed, and it was not empty. Lights glittered on the night side. Satellites orbited in careful patterns. Ships moved between the planet and a massive station near the moon. Humanity had not only survived, humanity had thrived. The radio crackled with a message in ancient human languages, languages the Prometheus crew had preserved for 20,000 years. "Unknown vessel, this is Earth Defense Command. Please identify yourself." Admiral Sarah wiped tears from her eyes and answered, "Earth Defense Command, this is Admiral Sarah of the Earth Alliance warship Prometheus. We have been away for a very long time. We are coming home." The response came after a moment of stunned silence. "Prometheus, you're in the archives. You're supposed to be lost. You've been gone for 20,000 years." "I know," said, "but we never gave up. Humans don't give up. That's what makes us human." Behind her, the council observers watched in amazement as the lost ship was welcomed home. They understood now why their ancestors had feared the humans, not because humanity was cruel or evil, but because humanity was relentless, because no prison could hold them, because 20,000 years of darkness could not break their spirit. The galaxy had forgotten Earth, but Earth had never forgotten the stars, and now the universe would remember why humanity was never meant to be caged. The age of unity was over. The age of humanity was about to begin.